Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of our Fat Flush Chronicles, where I'm interviewing all of our Fat Flush success stories that have lost weight, feel great, and are on this program for life. And today we have Theresa with us. Theresa, introduce yourself to our audience, my dear.
Hi, my name is Theresa. I'm from beautiful San Diego. I'm middle-aged in my 40s with two beautiful daughters.
And my God, you look like you're in your 20s.
Oh, thank you.
You really look terrific. Now, how did you discover the Fat Flush plan?
Well, I think like a lot of people, I didn't like the way that I looked in the mirror. I didn't like the way that I felt, failed on a number of different programs, and this just sounded like something different that would be interesting to try.
How do you think Fat Flush differs from all other programs out there, Theresa? What would be the key differences?
Well, I think for me, there's enough of a regimen that it's easy to follow, but there's so much flexibility. I think with other plans that I tried, there just weren't enough foods that I liked that I could eat on a regular basis, so I just gave up.
Well, would you tell our listening audience and our viewing audience, what are some of the most typical Fat Flush signature foods that become part of your regimen?
One of my favorite meals is taking a spaghetti squash and just filling it with all the great vegetables and a nice marinara sauce.
Yum.
It's really nice to be able to replace the heavy sort of carb laden noodles with a spaghetti squash.
And tell me about the cran water. Is that part of your regimen? What's so special about the Fat Flush water, that cran water that's so famous?
Yeah, so for me, I do enjoy the cran water. I take sort of a concentrated amount of it in my morning smoothie, and I enjoy a glass of cran water with my lunch and with my dinner. But I, for the most part, sip water throughout the day. But that's just another way that Fat Flush is so flexible.
So you adapt it to your own personal needs. And what health improvements have you seen since you've been a Fat Flusher?
Well, I think the main health improvement that I had with my youngest daughter, I had gestational diabetes. And of course, with gestational diabetes, there's a risk of having type 2 diabetes as you get older. So I've lowered my blood sugar. And that happened almost immediately when I started Fat Flush. So within just a couple weeks, my blood sugar was within the normal range.
Wow, it's very interesting. When I used to do my lectures back in the day, when we'd go to all these bookstores and these health food stores, I'd have all these doctors stand up and say, we took our patient off of all kind of medications and we're balancing blood sugar using your program, the cran water being very specific in that regard. So it's good for balancing blood sugar, it's good for the heart, good for the joints. And what about your skin, hair, and nails? We're all concerned about those things.
Well, as you mentioned, when we started this discussion, I look younger than I am. I'm 46 years old. So I don't know. Do I look 46?
46 going on 27. Yes, you don't look 46. It's amazing. It's kind of reversed the hands of time. And so would you tell any other, if you were to give motivation, let's say, to anybody else out there, what would be the motivation to go on the program? What can people expect from your own experience?
Well, I went from almost 200 pounds, a size 14, 16, down to 125, 130, a size 2 to 4. And I did that all in about 7 months. I did exercise, but I attribute most of my success to Fat Flush. And it's a plan that was easy to follow and worked really well for me.
Were you once featured in one of our magazines? Because we've been on the cover of many women's magazines. I think we've been on the cover of Women's World about 10 times in the past couple of years. And First for Women. Were you one of our Fat Flushers that was featured?
I was. And I've maintained my weight since then.
Wow. So how long has it been since you've been on Fat Flush?
Well, I think maybe 13 years now. About 13 years.
13 years and going strong. So it's really a lifestyle. Wouldn't you tell everybody out there that it's a lifestyle program? It's not just a fad diet, it's a lifestyle program. How do you think it differs from keto or paleo?
Well, I think from what I understand about keto and paleo, there's not a lot of flexibility. It's a very rigid program. Your body's either in ketosis or it's not. And so I think with Fat Flush, it's much easier to follow the plan. It's just much easier to maintain and to live a lifestyle that's healthy.
And it's good for the whole family. I mean, we have Fat Flush friendly recipes in our cookbooks. We have a Fat Flush foods book. We have a Fat Flush fitness plan. We updated our original Fat Flush plan in 2016. And I've come out with something else I want to tell you about, Theresa. And that is there's now an ultra fast Fat Flush, which is the compilation of all these research highlights that I've done over the past 10 years. And it's going to be in a free download that people can actually click a link to on the bottom of this video.
Great.
So here's my question to you. Are there any other supplements that you found really helpful while you were on your journey, your weight loss and fat loss journey?
Well, I would say in the middle of my journey, I found myself with a gallbladder disease. So I had gallstones. My doctor wanted to take my gallbladder out. So using the Bile Builder has saved my gallbladder.
Yay, Bile Builder. I mean, it's so successful. We get rave reviews with Bile Builder. So anybody that has gallstones, I believe in letting sleeping gallstones lie. If you use Bile Builder, you can help to disintegrate those gallbladder stones. And you know why it's important to keep your gallbladder, Theresa?
Well, it's all part of the digestion.
That's an excellent answer. It's because nature put it there. And so what right have we to take it out unless it's terribly diseased? But before you get to that point, have a lot of our essential fats, have our Bile Builder supplement, our fat loss program, which is the fat loss kit, the Fat Flush kit that we've had on the market for so many years. And what would you tell anybody else who wants to consider going on Fat Flush? What parting words would you tell those people?
Give it a shot. It seems a little overwhelming at first, but just give phase 1 a try. Give phase 1 a really good read. Give it 2 weeks and see how you feel after 2 weeks.
And what about the support that you get on Fat Flush? Don't you think it's unparalleled, if I say so myself?
It's incredible. I mean, the people are very warm, very nice, very kind, and I can really appreciate that. A lot of times when there's a question that pops up, you'll jump on and you'll respond to the question directly. I really appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate you. I want to wish you and I want to wish your family and everybody else out there a happy, healthy, fabulous, fat flushing new year. Thank you so much.
Take care.